What's going on? It's Mike Real Sports Life on all platforms. Welcome to another episode of MCTV. As you can tell by the thumbnail, today we're getting into Lamar Jackson's situation.
We had been talking about this all year, and we knew that bad blood was going to be simmering. No, not simmering, brewing. And it was about to overflow given that we were at the end of the contract, and Lamar Jackson had won an MVP, and still there was no extension. I can't remember a time in which a player won an MVP within the first 3 years and then had to play the remaining 2 years out of his rookie contract. Now, that might, in today's time, this game, I'm not talking about years and years ago, but even Tom Brady, Skip, when Tom Brady won the Super Bowl, they redid his contract.
They did. Yep.
They redid it.
This is what I think was the Baltimore Ravens' ultimate goal, was just to run Lamar into the ground, to be honest. Hope that he accrues as many injuries as quarterbacks that have his playing style in the past have, and that his trade value is diminished so much that he has no choice but to accept whatever deal they put in front of him, because he's such damaged goods that he's not going to garner that much interest on the open market. But it's backfired on him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that's the normal rule of thumb, that they're going to redo the contract.
Ditto.
But when it didn't happen, and then he's like, okay, you said, well, he won an MVP, but he lost the playoff game. The next year he comes back and he wins the playoff game, and he does it on the road.
Here's something to consider. How many other quarterbacks have signed contracts within this last offseason that don't have the cachet or credentials that Lamar Jackson has? Let's take a look. See, Russell, of course, signed his big deal in Denver. Kyler signed his deal in Arizona. Deshaun, this is what they're upset about. They're upset about this deal that Deshaun Watson signed, because what it did is it reset the market. And excuse me, if you're in business, you do business as business is being done. And as of right now, business is being done where you're guaranteeing $230 million to your starting quarterback. Now, what really upset the balance between it all is Deshaun Watson was in turmoil when he signed this deal, right? And Lamar Jackson has an unblemished record. Public opinion, the fans love him. He's a positive public figure, interacts with children a lot, gives back a lot, has an impeccable resume. But the Ravens don't want to pay him what he's asking for, right? And today, we found out that on March 2nd, he requested a trade from the Ravens. Now, you got to watch how this unfolds. On March 2nd, he requested a trade from the Ravens. What did the Ravens do on March 7th, 5 days later? They put out to the media that they're going to sign him to an unrestricted franchise tag. So 5 days after he requested the trade from the organization, they released that they're offering him this unrestricted free agency tag. Or franchise tag, unrestricted franchise tag, to control the narrative around what is the Lamar Jackson going to be controversy now. So what does Lamar do? Nothing. This is the lesson that's in it for the young athletes that come after him. Sometimes a wise man says nothing at all. Right? So what's law 1 of the 48 laws of power? Never outshine thy master. Meaning, if you're in negotiations with somebody, don't make them look bad. You want them to have a positive outlook coming to the negotiation table. So by you holding your tongue like Lamar Jackson did, you actually put yourself in a better position to get what you want out of the deal. Now, what's the 21st law in the 48 laws of power? Always play dumber than your mark. No, I'm not saying anybody in this equation is dumb. But what I am saying is that as soon as you open your mouth in a room, you let everybody know who you are. And if inadvertently they underestimate you, as soon as you walk in the room, let them continue to underestimate you. Life is chess, not checkers. You win by playing 2 and 3 moves ahead, not by reacting move by move. So they released on the 7th that they were going to sign him to this unrestricted franchise tag, right? And we don't find out until 20 days later, 3 weeks later, that 5 days prior to that, he had already requested a trade. And they thought that he wasn't business savvy enough to leak this information or play this outright or disseminate this information in a way that would impact his fair market value. So I think it's interesting that we didn't find out about this until, 3 weeks after the Ravens offered him this unrestricted franchise tag, which wasn't until 5 days after he had already requested a trade. So look at how the organization tried to control the narrative, not anticipating Lamar playing this beautifully, releasing that tweet while his head coach was sitting down in front of 45 cameras and news reporters and sports reporters. And now he has to answer questions pertaining to Lamar's tweet. The same way these athletes get stuck at the podium and find out that they're traded.
Let's roll this clip.
Oh, really?
Can you sum up your All-Star experience? What it was like for all the great players?
Amazing, man. I enjoyed the city of New Orleans, I love it here in New Orleans.
Wow, guys. So that was the very moment that DeMarcus Cousins found out that he had been traded to the New Orleans Pelicans. First off,
The same way.
I think Lamar's handling it like a professional. He's having a great year, man. It's like that's all you can ask for when you're going through your situation. What do you got to do to prove it to that franchise? I honestly don't think he has to do anything to prove it to that franchise. You got to understand the franchise you're dealing with and where they at. Baltimore is not known for paying nobody like that.
Let's look at Lamar's tweet from today. In the entire state of Maryland, you'll see me again. Listen, the man is out. He gone. And there's no one to blame but the Ravens organization. Now, let me tell you where I personally would like to see him go, because I think he could get the most money. Maybe not on paper, but I feel like he would be compensated the best by this franchise and its owner. Yep. He may sign for $150 guaranteed on paper, but Jerry gonna sign over a couple $100,000 of them acres of that oil producing land. Like, don't count that out. Don't count him out. But yeah, this is just a short take on the Lamar Jackson situation. Don't just watch the video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video. Let me know that what I'm making is productive and constructive. I'm here to give free game. Catch you on the next one.
Look.